Travel with us into the Purnululu National Park, the Bungle Bungles. We'll show you the road in and talk about towing. You'll walk with us on the trails and be amazed at Cathedral Gorge and Echidna Chasm. You'll see the spectacular beehive-like domes from the ground and a spectacular aerial view later in the video. We'll tell you about our one bit of bad luck.
Slow and steady is the motto for the 53k drive into Purnululu National Park. That's skid marks going up the hill. We're towing the camper. Some people have said, don't do it. But we're doing our best. Simon's doing an incredible job as we go uphill again. Slippery, rocky surface. I like water crossings, but not. After travelling over 53 kilometres of a very challenging track, we have arrived at the visitor centre at Purnululu National Park. I would sincerely like to thank Simon the driver and Trev the Triton for getting me here safely.
It was good, it was good. It's about 3 o'clock on Sunday afternoon and we are sitting in the Purnululu National Park having a well-earned drink. We haven't had our lunch yet, but we've driven the 55 kilometres from the Great Victorian Highway into the National Park and we're camped in a lovely setting and we're going to do some walks tomorrow. The road was quite challenging, but to tell you the truth, we've loved every minute of it. It was twisty, it was uphill, downhill, it had lots of rocks, boulders, it had water crossings, it had places where we had to go at 10 kilometres an hour and places where we could do 50 or 60 kilometres an hour. But it's been a great trip and I think we're pretty pleased with ourselves for having done it.
We're in a pretty good spot. Well, after that long and arduous drive, we have found a fabulous camping spot. It's pretty warm today, but we are right in the shade at the moment. We always have to have sun though, because we need the solar to charge up our batteries. Maybe we need to connect them to us before we go on our walk tomorrow. Okay.
It's Monday morning and we are walking into Cathedral Gorge in the Bungle Bungles. But before we do that, we follow a short trail to see the domes. These magnificent, tall, beehive-like looking structures are dotted throughout the Bungle Bungles. Later in the video you'll see an aerial view of these domes. It's spectacular. As you can see, these are now towering above us. I'm standing about 2 metres from the base of this rock. It's going straight up above me. So this wall starts about 1 metre away from me and just goes up and up and up and up and up and over the top of me, and then it goes, it's hard to show this on the video, but it goes around. Now it's over to the other side. We are completely enclosed by these beautiful walls. Just an amazing feeling. We're walking on almost like beach sand on our way to the domes. So this is our walk. And as you can see, the level of fitness is just unbelievably good. There'll be a cardiopulmonary stop up here, I'm sure. And now we're at the domes, surrounded by these beehive-like rocks all around us, protecting us from the sun. It's very cool in here, and still we're on this beach sand-like trail just a few metres further on until we reach the end of this trail. Then we'll turn around and head back towards Cathedral Gorge. There's lots of oh my god moments on this walk, but this is certainly one of them. We're nearly at the end of the trail into Cathedral Gorge. Sun's streaming through. Have a look at that. Again, the path is sandy and very easy to walk on, and the structures around us are unbelievably spectacular. It's not long before we can hear the echo of voices, the echo caused by the Cathedral Gorge. Well, the camera won't show you the majesty of this place, Cathedral Gorge, but Maureen and I have been to a lot of countries and seen a lot of natural features and seen a lot of Australia and seen a lot of natural features there, but this is right up there with the best of them. You walk into this through an opening, a large opening. You are then confronted by two huge walls on the side and a front wall with this big overhang and this cave-like structure underneath. It is awe-inspiring. Trying to keep the picture in my memory because the cameras just won't do it justice. Whilst the camera can't capture the breathtaking nature of the scenery, we did take one panoramic shot.
Before we actually got in here, I bumped into a 9-year-old boy, and he said to me that he'd been travelling for 7.5 months, and what you'll see around that corner is far better than anything else. It was awesome. Quite amazing hearing these young people with the language and really enjoying the features that they see. That little fella was absolutely right.
Having left Cathedral Gorge and had some lunch, we head for the airfield where we booked a ride on a helicopter. This is the same sort of helicopter that we're going to fly in, and I soon discover it doesn't have any doors. We've left the ground and I'm already panicking. Maureen's happily sitting up the front, taking video with her phone. I'm sitting in the back seat, grabbing the bar, white knuckle-like. The view from the air is spectacular, as we thought it would be, having walked through only several hours earlier. After 30 minutes, it's back to the landing strip. I'm a relieved man. This morning we are going to go out and walk the Echidna Chasm, come back, pack up and head off to Kununurra. We had a lovely time in the helicopter, Maureen did. I couldn't take much video because I was hanging on so tightly, because the one thing I've learned on this trip, I'll never be going on a helicopter again if it doesn't have any doors. We've driven from the Kurrajong campsite, where we've been camped for 2 nights, out to the start of the Echidna Chasm walk, which is about a 1.4 kilometre return walk, but if you want to walk inside the chasm it's another 2 kilometres. Not sure whether we'll do that because there's a lot of boulder scrambling inside the chasm. Anyway, we'll see how we go. On the way into Echidna Chasm, we've taken a sidetrack to the Osman Range lookout, and it's certainly worth the little effort that it took to get here. Have a look at that view across the Bungle Bungles. Now I'm just going to go around the other side of this large rock which is right next to me. To continue that view. Interesting, there's palms growing in this area. You wouldn't think it, given you think of palms as growing in lush areas, but that's amazing, they're everywhere here. But how's that view? We have been walking along sort of a dirt trail, but now it's turned to walking along these beautiful, what I would call river rocks, through these palms, which I think are called Liverstonia palms. I still find it amazing that in this tough ground you've got these palms, and then just behind them the mountains. But Echidna Chasm is just down this trail, I'm pretty confident. And here we go back to a dirt path again. Beautiful country. We're in, I don't know, maybe the middle of, further along than the middle of Echidna Chasm, and you can see why it's called a chasm. The path is sometimes only about 4 metres wide, and what we're standing on now is probably, I don't know, 15 metres wide. But the rock face above us just goes inwards towards each other so that you're almost covered by a roof. It's a fantastic, fantastic view. Look at that. And now we can see the chasm closing in. So we'll keep walking for about another, perhaps 50 metres up there. And I think it'll get even narrower. But we'll see in a second, or see in a couple of minutes. We're not the fastest walkers over these creek pebbles. And now we've reached a point where, although it's actually an illusion, it looks like the walls are touching each other above us. But you can see a little sliver of light there, so they're not quite touching. But this is an amazing natural phenomenon. So we'll just keep walking along this path and see what happens. And now we've reached this large open section with the walls going straight up. Look at that. Walking along the last bit of the track in Echidna Chasm. I'm standing at a sign that says trail closed. Moore's just making her way over the last 15 metres or so. And then I'll just show you the rocks right above her head. How's that? I didn't notice that when I was walking underneath them, but they are ready to tumble. In the next 10, 20,000 years, I think we're safe. What do you think of that, Moore?
Great. Oh, there is more.
Shooting another scene of those rocks, because that's one of the most amazing natural things I've seen on this tour. There's been lots of amazing things. Those two rocks are just wedged between the two walls.
We'll have to run through there.
Just in case there's a rock fall. It's got a touch of Indiana Jones about it, hey? Amazing, love it. That was a magnificent 3 days. Now, about towing the camper in. There are lots of warnings about don't tow into the Bungle Bungles. We did. We have a very good Travelander camper trailer, and I would tow it anywhere our ute would tow it. So we towed in, lots of people did, lots of people don't. We had no difficulty except on the way out, sometime after the bit of video you are currently watching, we damaged a tyre badly, and in Kununurra I got a new tyre. I don't think you can complain about losing one tyre given the roads we did. The other thing to say is that the roads inside the park are a lot better than the roads to and from the park. We'd do it all again tomorrow.